And welcome back again, ladies and gentlemen, to another exciting episode of the Lost Podcast of Titan, a father and son journey through the sci-fi series that unite our generations. Where we watch the TV shows that came on the TVs a long time ago, and find out that maybe not every Star Trek episode was awesome.
Yes, what a revelation.
But I mean, like some of them are really bad.
Yes, it's a case of not aging well. I'm now asking myself, in another 50 years, how will Star Trek be appreciated as much as it is now?
Like going back to Patterns of Force, our Nazi episode from last time. It bothered me even more when I thought about it later. Like, okay, so the historian decided that Nazi Germany was the most efficient society to unite a culture, blah, 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 blah. But he gave them the insignias, the symbology, the terminology, the ranks, the uniforms, the weapons, all of that?
Yeah, that is a bit overdone. The whole hog.
Like this is okay. This is like, you wander into your friend's uncle's house or whatever, go into the back room and it's Nazi memorabilia everywhere. And it's like, the fuck is this shit?
Well, keep in mind that technically the Ecosians would have been ignorant of John Gill wasn't going to educate the Ecosians in the negative aspects of Nazism, which some people might think, well, that wouldn't have left too much.
No, but like he usurped their culture to replace it with the Nazi culture. Like there was no analogy, or there was no, one-to-one for Nazis on that planet.
You would have. Well, do you think that maybe, even though the Ecosians were in a bad state at that point, they could not have eventually evolved naturally out of that state? Gil had already written off the Ecosians as doomed.
I just like why the fucking swastika?
Yeah.
Okay, like let's get to the most basic. Like they don't have their own symbol.
Yeah, they could have. Didn't they have? Didn't they have symbology, flags or anything like that?
Exactly. And even Mein Führer is, as father. They don't have a word for father?
Exactly. What we're doing is painting John Gill in a very unsympathetic light here.
Because he should be painted like he should be looked at.
Yes.
I mean, I'm not saying throw it into jail right away, but maybe like
brought up before a board of inquiry.
And while he's at the board of inquiry, we have some people in his home just peeking around, like what's in this locked room here,
checking his email and stuff,
his search history.
Yes, he seems to have a thing for knee-high leather boots, doesn't he? Yes.
Well, I mean, who doesn't? I mean, let's not paint it too broad a brush here.
I haven't worn a pair of boots in my lifetime, and I really don't plan to unless I'm going to go out in a place heavily populated by poisonous snakes. But that's another story altogether.
But anyway, today, ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be watching Star Trek episode, the original series, By Any Other Name. So if you would like to join us, just go ahead and put us on pause and come back to us when you're ready.
One thing,
yeah.
Another brief segue, and I do apologize, but this thing has been sort of on my mind, and I wanted to get it out while.
All right.
It's a conundrum, a kind of off-topic conundrum, and I thought, well, my son is the font of all knowledge, according to people, mainly himself. He might be able to answer this question.
Torpedoes.
Okay, well, that's your go-to answer. But you're familiar with the original Disney Sleeping Beauty.
Like the cartoon, yeah.
Yeah, and God, it's terrible when we have to now think of separate Disney into original and post-original. But here's the thing. The Princess Aurora was raised from an infant by the three good fairies in the forest. So she becomes of age, as they measured it in that time, and they were going to have to hand her back to her concerned and grieving parents so that she could marry the handsome prince.
Yes. So far with you,
Okay.
yeah.
Now they were going to have a sort of farewell party for her, make her a
Hello?
nice new dress, and that's when we learn.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, wait, there we go.
Yeah, and that's when we learn that the good fairies have absolutely no knowledge of baking or cooking. Here we
Right.
come to the puzzle. If they could not cook food, how did they manage to feed that child from infancy to the age she was now?
No, they could cook food. They just couldn't make a cake.
I think if you've spent like 16 or so years cooking, you could pick up baking.
I hate to break this to you. It was many years before I even learned how to make spaghetti.
Well,
So,
some people have it and some people don't. I managed to learn how to bake.
yeah. But, I mean, like, they probably started simple, some berries and nuts.
And well, okay, well
And
they
that's
could
about it
make her
for 16
granola or
years.
something, but that just struck me as bizarre.
No, no, it makes sense to me.
Okay,
They didn't know how to make a cake.
well, that's another cosmic mystery solved in a few moments, courtesy of Jeremiah. Okay,
I mean, the bigger issue is that the prince kissed her without her consent, so...
oh, yeah, he kind of gave me the impression that he'd been around the castle a few times, to coin a phrase. And she was an impressionable, pretty young thing. I don't suppose the fact that even though they had not arranged the background details, they had been betrothed to be married.
Yeah, because, no, they made that clear, because he was there at her birth, at the blessings.
But he didn't know that Briar Rose was the Princess Aurora. She was just a simple country girl living with the three old ladies out in the forest.
Well, yeah, but I mean, he knew her once upon a dream,
Okay, now I've got that music going through my head. But he was going to go to his father and say, Dad, I know Princess Aurora is returning, but the whole thing's off. I've met this girl in the forest, and she is everything I've dreamed about. And his father was going to explain to King Stefan, something has happened. My son has met some shiksa in the
Well,
forest.
no. I mean, this is medieval royal relationships. I don't think love has anything to absolutely do with the
Well-
marriage. His father would probably be like, "Oh, that's nice. Well, she can live down the hall,
Until someone else comes
and until someone else comes along. As long as you got some heirs from Princess Aurora, it should be all right.
No, but
Sowing the wild oats, etc., etc."
okay, but they had wanted their children to be married from the get-go.
Welcome to our Star Trek episode, by the way.
Yeah,
Anyway.
stay tuned for the Star Trek episode. But they'd wanted their kids to get married from the get-go. That was, cementing their families.
Yeah. So
Easily.
they're not letting it go. It's both. What's the issue?
The issue is that up until that...
He'd marry Princess Aurora, have kids with her, and he'd be fucking Briar Rose. Like, this isn't a hard concept.
I would think that the kings, and I forget who Philip's father was named. I would think that...
Stefan.
No, Stefan was Briar Rose's father.
Oh.
But
Whatever.
I'm thinking that Philip's father, although he reluctantly accepted the situation, I think his ethical and moral compass would be firm enough to not accept this a hypothetical situation where Philip would marry Aurora and yet be stooping, some forests.
You're assuming he's not doing the same. Like this is medieval King.
Are you saying?
Have you read a history book?
Yeah, I'm very well read in history, but this is Disney history. Are you suggesting that the royal
Yes.
kings, slept
Yes.
around behind their wives' back?
Yes. Yes.
You horrible person.
How am I a horrible
That's
person?
not right. That's not fairy tale. That's not, once upon a dream. Da 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 da. Disney is not going to. Disney would not make the Six Wives of Henry VIII or anything like that.
Yeah, and like, I mean, okay, all right, hold the fuck on. Have you seen The Lion King?
No, not yet. Do I really want to?
Do you know the premise of The Lion King?
Sort
okay,
of
go
like
ahead.
Bambi, but with jungle animals.
Okay, all right. So in A Lion's Pride, who is the one that's sleeping with all the females?
The king.
Okay, very good, very good. And so who's the father of all the cubs in that?
All right, I see where
Pride?
you're going with this, but here we're
Very
dealing
good.
with lions. We're not dealing with human beings. Human beings are not
And?
lions. And
And?
the society that the two kings were existing in were a medieval fairy tale society, which meant that they cleaved to their wives only.
I don't think that's how fairy tales usually
I
work.
do think that's how fairy tales usually work.
I don't think that's how fairy tales usually work. I think Grimm's fairy tales were actually a lot darker.
Okay, I will grant you that Grimm's fairy tales were a lot dark, but here we're talking about the popular Disney adaptation.
Listen. Disney fucks up quite a bit when they don't think about things progressing the way they should. If they follow logical conclusions of how things work.
I mean, another Snow White, the handsome Snow
Okay,
White marries the
Snow
handsome
White,
prince.
yes.
No one
Snow White
no one
marries handsome
expects the
prince.
handsome prince to go off and jump the hedge, so to speak. They're going to live
Okay.
happily ever after together. Same with Aurora and Philip in Sleeping Beauty.
What makes you think he's not going to jump the hedge?
Because in that story,
This is how royalty works.
in that story, everyone
In the story.
Everyone
Yes.
expects the handsome prince and Snow White to live happily ever after unto themselves.
Right.
You can't just throw that concept.
Listen. She's a single woman living with 7 single guys. All right.
Oh, please don't go
and
there.
she's not paying rent. Okay.
She's cooking and cleaning for them. God.
Oh yeah, yes. Air quotes. Cooking and cleaning.
Same with Cinderella.
Cinderella.
Cinderella fell
that's-
in love with the handsome prince. He, managed to find.
Okay. All right. Hold on. Hold the fuck on. She married the dude with the foot fetish.
Oh God.
He was going around the entire kingdom having women try on the shoes because he wasn't paying the fuck attention to to anything else. Hello? Why is this dude so retarded?
Okay, I obviously I didn't raise you right.
Oh, you raised me perfectly
You
well.
have no, s-
To pay attention and
you
question
have no
things.
sense of romance.
I have plenty of sense of romance. What I don't have is blinders on.
Oh, there should be a sense of blindness in love.
Yes, there is. There should be. That's why Briar Rose would be down the hall. What? Like this was like? Hold on. This is Frank Herbert put it best in the end in last line of Dune. They shall call us concubines, but history shall call us wives.
Which is why Walt Disney
Go
never
ahead.
considered filming Dune.
Walt Disney. Okay, actually, all right. A Walt Disney Dune would actually be kind of cool. I want to see what they would do with it, and how much I would hate it. but yeah, I mean, like, also, it's like Cinderella was basically a an abused foster child. Like, that's fucking dark.
Yeah, all right. I'm not denying that the original Grimm's fairy tales were dark. I'm talking about the
Yeah.
contemporary Disney-esque spin which was put on a lot of the fairy tales.
Right.
And that is how my generation and previous generations were raised and how we accepted such things. And apparently, the bottom fell out when your generation came along.
Listen, 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 listen. There was no bottom. It's just we were wise enough to notice that there's no floor to stand on here. Like we have Bambi, the tragic story where the mother gets spoilers, where the mother gets shot, and what happens? The father doesn't give a single shit.
Yeah,
Like,
okay.
The father was there.
Uh,
He stands imposing, the king of the forest. Does jack shit. Let's see. And what happens here? We have Princess Ariel basically only able to use her body to try and win the love of the prince. Hello.
how about Beauty and the Beast?
Beauty and the Beast is Stockholm Syndrome. Like,
Ugh.
listen.
This is why
listen,
you will
listen,
never be
listen.
the hero of a fairy tale.
No, I'd like to live happily ever after, please. Thank you.
Oh. Okay, well,
Like Gaston was correct in trying to kill the beast. Let's look at it from Gaston's perspective. There's no man like Gaston. No one big and rough and rowdy as
no
Gaston.
one is incredibly boring
No one,
as Gaston.
Right. But we have a beast. We have an old man who comes in raving that a beast has kidnapped his daughter. And then proof is presented. So, like, yes, Gaston was correct. Now, his motives were
Well,
suspect.
thank you.
But what was the other solution? Oh, they're fine. He looks like a nice beast. I'm sure this whole "you are going to live with me forever" in exchange for the freedom of your father is just a misunderstanding, and that over the course of how much time has passed, they have fallen in love. Oh, you silly like, come on now.
You're no fun.
I'm sorry. I
Oh.
apologize.
And I'm kind of sorry I brought the whole thing up now.
This is
Even
your
though
fault.
I'm suspecting that the audience is eating this up.
Probably. I'll cut it as a rant. Sounds like a good rant. But anyway.
yeah. Anyway, Star
Whoa,
Trek.
whoa, We're watching Star Trek by any other name, original series. So go ahead, put us on pause, come back when you're ready. Welcome back, and we're going to get started in 3, 2, 1. Princess Aurora, hail to the king, hail to the queen, hail to the Princess Aurora. And dead. Okay, got it. Hello, Spock, you're there. There has to be life form regions. Try not to act too hard, girl, okay?
She never would. That's Julie Cobb, whose only other claim to fame was being in the first video adaptation of Huxley's Brave New World.
The video adaptation?
Made
Wait,
for
what?
TV version.
Oh. What, there's a 1960s Brave New World?
No, later on.
Oh. Was it the 90s version?
I think that was the 80s version. There was a later
Wait, am I thinking of the
There
right
was a
one?
later Brave New World where Leonard Nimoy, in fact, was one of the stars.
Wait, I'm sorry. I think I might have gotten my shitty libertarian dystopian futures mixed up. Um, is Brave New World the one with Soma, or is Brave New World the one with the candle?
Soma.
Soma. Okay, all right, thank you.
For someone who's paralyzed, he's moving around a bit. So is McCoy.
But don't wanna.
Well, that gets this little old plot started right off the bat.
I knew there was a suspect when like they were just ignoring everybody as they walked up. I think these people are up to no good.
Go blimey, Holmes! Nothing gets past you, does it?
It's Tuesday, isn't it? Da-da. Okay, all right. You're a member of Starfleet, and you're actually on a starship. You can't be the captain. And actually, you can't actually be like head science, head medical. You can't be like a named role. What part of the ship do you want to work on?
Uh, Damage control.
Damage
Or, I,
control.
or I
Okay.
would want to work in the shuttle bay.
All right. Okay. I think I would like to be engineering.
Hmm.
I'd like to. I would like to, work around in the Jeffries tubes. That sounds like an afternoon. Like I get my lunch, get some music going, go into the Jeffries tubes, and I basically spend 3 hours with Scotty yelling at me while I try and get things fixed.
Say, I'm sorry, Mr. Scott. It's going to take 30 minutes, no matter how much time the captain's given us.
Really.
Punch him out.
Yeah, I was about to say. Wait, and these
No.
people are never going to be mentioned again, are they? Wait a minute, hold on. They had the technology to go across galaxies,
Yeah.
multiple galaxies apparently, and they can't just make their own ship.
Something happened. They'll be explained. They had to pass through that energy barrier at the edge of our galaxy, and that messed up their ship.
They didn't
Apparently
see it
not.
coming. And also, I think they would be like, "Look, hey guys, welcome to our planet. We're not neurofielding anybody. So we're explorers from another galaxy. We accidentally,
A little
crashed
help
here.
here,
It's
maybe?
great that you
Yeah.
found us. Can you give us a lift? Can you give us a lift and maybe some
Yes, but then
materials?
you would.
Like
Yes,
the
but then you
Federation would
wouldn't
be
have
all over
all
it.
this drama and action going on. Punch her out.
Also, apparently they're waiting. It's a trigger mechanism. They can just shoot them from behind. And what exactly are they going to do when they get to the energy barrier again?
They're going to modify the Enterprise.
They couldn't modify their own a more highly advanced ship?
Okay, yeah, I didn't write the episode, so yeah.
This is really kind of stupid.
Oh, you guys are going to love the Klingons. Or the Borg.
Seriously.
I doubt that. Yeah, yeah.
What, poorly? On top of that, oh well, I guess they're not going to let them give a message out to the Federation. But what? They're going to go 300 years back to the Andromeda. Andromeda's going to make a conquering fleet, and that's 600 years at least. And that's going to be 600 years where the Federation can,
Or their
you know,
technology
prepare
would have
itself?
improved to the point where the Kelvins would have problems.
Oh, Jesus. Again? What? Wait, these are energy
Different life
beings?
forms. You'll hear that later. The scans were initially picking up some other kind of life form before they change into human settings.
Why are they bothering to change
To
the
fool
human
the-
settings? And human clothing for that. To fool what? They walked right up and went. Like there's the jig is up.
For a red shirt, she's managed. Listen.
What? You're not allowed to talk to each other? I was under the assumption the central projector was the thing on the belt.
He's going to
But
try
he
and
can
get
do
as
it
close to
remotely?
the guard as possible. Which, that doesn't really strike me as getting closer.
No. I don't know. This kind of like takes away one of the criticisms I had with Discovery, though, because like they were having Skype conversations telepathically
Oh.
across light years.
They need to up the game on their fake rocks.
Listen, they can't even afford alien makeup. And they're already, cutting every excess thread off of the costumes, apparently. Uh-oh.
How about punishing the guard who got fooled?
Well, she's,
Oh, okay.
she's blonde. You can't expect much. They're
Yeah.
now salt blocks?
Instant crew person. Instant crew person. Just add water.
The fuck? Just add water. The soul. Oh. And this one is still alive. Oh, dang. Okay. I was actually expecting that
Yeah,
to be a
nice
woman.
assumption there, since she was the cuter one. The lucky survivor is played by Carl Bird, who has not actually done a whole lot.
Oh, I'm
Yes,
sure he's
he
lived a
said,
happy life.
I was a cube on Star Trek.
That's not a cube. That's a dodecahedron. Someone who would not put up with my bullshit. So those aren't
Yeah,
actually people. Those are all tentacles,
Lovecraftian creatures.
which will
Yeah.
remain conveniently off screen. Although, now I kind of want to see what their ship is like. Transporter. Oh wait.
Hello. He knows that, but he didn't know that Spock's parents were the ambassadors.
Really?
Why didn't he just pinch his own shoulder?
Why didn't you just
Or
sit
lie
down
down?
first?
Yeah,
Oh, we'll turn him into a
and he
cube
can
right
remain
away.
that until we go back to the ship. He fell for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, we have to,
Yeah.
get the plot moving along. It's a sedative, and he's going to knock out the Hassan or
Hassan
Hanar or
Chop.
whatever his name is.
Or we could try slapping Spock again. And the Kelvins, these Kelvins have spent all their existence in the sealed environment of a spaceship. Wouldn't there be something in living terrestrial bacteria that might be harmful to them?
There's like two schools of thought. One is yes, the other is they'd be so different biologically that they wouldn't, be
Okay.
too worried about it.
Oh, you are so gonna love the Klingons. Poison ivy.
And he's going to seduce the great many tentacled thing.
Who was played by Barbara Boucher, who is pretty much forgettable.
Oh, I
really?
remember her very well. No.
But Rojan is played by Warren Stevens, who you should remember.
Hold on, let me get back to his face.
Warren
All right, who is
Stevens,
he?
he was the medical officer in Forbidden Planet.
Ah, okay. Also, what are they going to do with food?
Hold that thought.
Especially
Hold
when they
that
get to the
thought.
intergalactic void. I can't hold it.
We'll
I've been
take a
holding it for the past 20 minutes.
We'll take
Are
a
we getting
potty
to a
break.
gas station suit or not? Can I get an egg McMuffin?
Go to a transporter room, get a lock on that device, and beam it off the ship.
And or beam the stuff out of it, you know?
I mean, I appreciate Bixby and DC Fontana, the writers, but and they're not the only ones who have made this boner, but they really didn't think everything through.
No, they did not.
Of course, I want to say, if we get a chance, would we do any better?
I'd like to think it would at least have something interesting. Instead of many tentacle things just coincidentally inhabiting the body of humans, you know, going back to another galaxy, energy barrier that's never brought up again.
And the Kelvins aren't asking questions about why Spock is back on his feet.
Well, McCoy said it would only take a few hours.
Yeah, they bought every other line that the humans have given.
It was just a Cassadon fever flare up.
Oh, I gotta mark that down. That's the button that you want to press if you want to blow up the ship.
Now,
Alrighty.
I have a question. If they don't, get things back in control and then use Warp 11 to get back towards where they were, then
Pretty
they're in a
much.
Voyager situation, pretty much.
No, we're not.
But we're not going to mention that, are we? Uh-huh.
There's been a recent body of speculation that says that the energy barrier surrounding the galaxy was established by the Q continuum, or as a protective
why would they
measure
say that?
against the life forms in the Milky Way galaxy. A shield.
Wait, protection measure
Protecting
against
the
or
life forms
for?
in the galaxy. You would have to interrogate
okay.
the Q in order to find out from what.
I don't know. Q is really only interesting for me in Next Generation. After that, it was,
Oh, I kind of liked it when
Kinda
he
silly.
appeared on Deep Space Nine and Voyager.
well, I do
Yeah.
like how Cisco didn't take any of his shit. But, what was it? In Voyager, they had a civil war or something like that?
Something, and Janeway was made godmother to Q's offspring.
Like, whatever happened to the member of the Enterprise crew who was going to become a Q? She was in love with Riker or had a crush on Riker?
Okay,
whatever.
I've missed that one completely, I guess. No.
What? You don't remember that one? Oh.
Very nice back.
Mm-hmm. There he goes. Check off.
Yeah.
And no Sulu. We also don't have a need for science officer because we ain't studying shit.
We ain't studying shit. We're gonna chill on a voyage back home to the galaxy. Somebody pick up these cubes. If Kirk accidentally had stepped on one.
Exactly.
Punch him out. Really?
Or do a hand
it was
chop.
just the two of them.
And knock him out. Is there a problem over here that, being cubified won't solve?
Human attend.
What? Chicken pot pie.
Or something that would make a humanoid throw up.
No, he's going to taste it and be like, oh, I've never tasted something before. This is amazing. Speak a little louder, Scotty. He's right over there.
I never tasted Play-Doh prepared this fashion.
I think it's mango,
some pineapple,
strawberries. Yeah.
Mine's vast and cool and unsympathetic.
So we need to get them all laid, is what you're saying. Got it.
We're opening up a real big can of worms here.
Pretty much. Gonna get a bottle of scotch.
Now he had the opportunity. Why didn't he just give him a powerful knockout drug?
Exactly. That is
Yeah.
kind of a cool looking bottle, to be honest. Oh,
Probably.
wait, can I get that? Hold on. Wait, hold on. Hold up. Saurian brandy bottle. Huh. That's disappointing. Star
That
Trek
might
bottle,
work.
maybe? No, it's just bottles with pictures of the Enterprise on it.
And she's just going to let him sneak up behind her.
Mm-hmm. Holy shit. Okay. Maybe I don't need a Saurian brandy bottle.
Oh, why? Did you find one and is it overpriced?
Yeah, it's like $300.
Oh, can you?
Listen, it's bad enough that Ralph Bashki put up some animation cells from Wizards of Peace that I'm like, oh, there's like I don't have
What's he
$700,
charging
so I
for
can't pick
Cells
that
of
up.
Eleanor?
That I think already went a long time ago.
Well, if you want to have descendants, it should be this easy. I know it's not that
It's
easy.
not that easy. Star Trek lied to me.
Oh, a bunch of adolescent boys. We were totally lied to by our Star Trek episodes.
I'm wondering why every bottle has that.
Kind of melted look. I don't know.
Curve,
Is that
I
a
guess?
standard for containers of alcoholic beverages?
No, it's not. Why the fuck is there a medieval helmet behind
What
him?
Scotty considers decoration. Listen, a kiss is just a kiss. A sigh is just a sigh.
So wait, this whole episode is going to end with Lin May singing about love.
Well, fortunately, number one, there will be no Lin May. Fortunately, number two, there will be no singing.
It's like There's two songs and then the finale song, and
Well,
that's it.
thank God her repertoire was that limited.
Well, also I realized that they basically just had to make up songs for the English dub. Oh, that reminds me. So the Harmony Gold and whoever else it was, they've actually come to an agreement now with
Oh, really?
Robotech and Macross. Yes, so we might get more Robotech eventually.
Uh oh. Uh oh. This isn't exactly how you deal with women, fella.
So, well, on top of that, is that even a woman? Did they just inhabit a body randomly? Like, what is gender with these Kelvins?
Okay, that's a really interesting and somewhat disturbing thought. Who put a bug up your butt?
Oh, hello. Would like to do more of this apologizing.
What the Ferengi call umaks.
Is that okay? Is that her hair or is that a hair
I've been asking
accessory?
myself,
Okay, I think that is. I think that is her hair. It's just the lighting sometimes makes it look like it's
I wonder how long it took to
plastic.
get her hair up like that.
Oh, this is the '60s. They could whip that up in like 30 seconds. How many of these Kelvins are there?
There's the
Because I was under the impression there was more than like the four that we're following.
there's the little girl who was on the bridge, Rojan, Hanar, two other males, and Kalinda. Oh, maybe I should have tried that line. Oh,
That
okay.
doesn't work.
I'll
Sorry.
bow to your experience.
What are you monitoring? It's the deep
Well, there might
intergalactic
be something
void.
interesting out there.
That would be kind of
An
scary, to
additional
be
plot
honest.
element.
Actually, apparently there's theories that there are extra galactic planetoids just sort of, wandering around. Eventually, maybe they'll be caught up in another galaxy, but not
Yeah.
entirely empty.
Dun 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 dun. And they left Uhura's cube just sitting in the chair.
Sleepy? Oh, strange. Wait, that was the stupidest fucking thing. I think it was like he knew he had to headbutt the table, and then he didn't quite make it. You should probably
If
put
he
it
had
in
a
your
pocket.
pocket. Pocket. He has pockets. Slappy. Why isn't he using his belt?
He's being overcome by human emotions and rage. Those 3D checker sets were not easy to come by, fellas.
Clearly.
I think you're having better luck with the girl.
Pretty much. Meanwhile, the girl's getting like two men fighting over me. Jesus Christ. Really?
At least until we get out of range of your paralysis machine and then we turn around and blow you up.
Okay, so they're going to go back. All right, that's fine.
This could catch on, you know.
Also, is there enough, air quotes, genetic diversity to sustain the
I don't think so,
population?
but I'm sure the Federation could. There will be experts, quote unquote, air quotes here, uh, come along and want to, apologize to the Kelvins.
Wait, was that Uhura? Oh, wait, no, it wasn't Uhura.
But this has always been sort of a problem with stories involving multi generational starships. Say that you're a member of the crew of one such ship about halfway through the voyage. You're having to live out your whole life with the understanding that your great great grandparents started this trip and your great 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 so continue on grandchildren will be finishing it. So rather than being part of a distinct culture, you're simply a link in a chain.
Well, we're all
Well,
links in a
that's
chain.
that's
And the culture is the forming of those links. So yeah, there would be a culture on that ship.
okay.
I mean, like let's look at the historical example of the SDF-1 from Robotech. That was, I mean, they warped out to what, Jupiter, Saturn, somewhere outside, somewhere like far out into the solar system, and they had to make their way slowly back to Earth over the course of a few years, and they developed their own culture on that.
Okay, and then there was, I remember a Fantastic Four story during John Byrne's uh, reign on that title, where our heroes encountered a multi generational starship just on the verge of reaching a destination planet, and they landed, and the people came out. But it soon became apparent that after so many generations in space, they found
Hmm.
existence on a natural planet terrifying and unfamiliar.
Well, yeah, naturally.
But anyway, what did you think of the
But
episode? Was it as bad as you were expecting, or
uh, okay, it wasn't as bad as I was expecting. It was still pretty bad. Because literally the resolution is like, oh, what, you really will let us live on it? Like literally just reconsidering the option Kirk gave at the beginning of the episode with no real
well,
differences in
okay,
between, you know?
admittedly, the Kirk and the rest of the group had to still walk on tiptoes, like they were walking on eggshells, because they still had to deal with getting their crew restored. And if they'd messed things up, then everyone would be heading back to the Federation with a shipload of dodecahedrons. Now, after
I'm beginning to worry that the best episode was the best season was like the
oh
first
dear,
season.
even after things like the Doomsday Machine and Journey to Babel and Amok Time.
Well, I mean, I think there's
Okay,
more
I'll
better
grant you
episodes
that.
in season
I mean,
one.
I'm giving this episode a soft, a B minus. Yeah,
Oh, B minus. Uh, I'll give it a C.
the
It's
resolution
just
was just too pat. In fact,
It's like they ran
were,
out of time or some shit.
It must have been hell writing for a series. You had to try and get everything taken care of in 48, 49 minutes or so. Anyway.
But, yeah, so
Oh dear,
what do we
I
do
just
next?
a premonition. It's going to be the Omega Glory.
It is.
Okay, I'm going to cut to the
it's the
chase
Omega
and
Glory.
say I'm giving
Yep.
that episode a C. Well,
Oh shit! What's wrong with this one?
It's based on a lot of coincidences, which have never really sat too well with me.
And it looks like they're using a Western set that they had handy.
Well, not so much Western set, but Frontier set.
Holy.
But you'll see. It's just, oh.
But I hope y'all will enjoy that and join us next time because
Yes,
our
that's
pain
right.
is your entertainment.
We suffer for the benefit of humanity overall. Behave.
Take care, everybody.